He's got one modus operandi. Turn your money into things that I don't need.
If you want to help out with the cost of those games, all you gotta do is email me the digital code so I can redeem it. I have the right to ask. I do.
Hello friends, trace amounts of science.
DarkSydePhil posted what can best be described as a proclamation a while back, and it really does let his nice guy, his inceldom, shine through through his own words. So I thought I'd take a little time, pull that apart, and hopefully we'll be able to have some fun with it today. Do you know the tale of Darth Phileas the Greedy, young gubbins?
Darth Phileas legend lurk in shadows. Gubbins hear whispers, feel dark presence. Greed, corrupt soul, cloud judgments. Gubbins ready to face evil, cleanse timeline. Gubbins.
You got it, Gubbins. That's exactly what we're going to do today. Face this evil right down. Lots of spurious allegations, accusations, whatnot. You'll see exactly what I mean. Let's get over there right now. And hey, also, thanks so much for being here today. All right. I just posted something in another forum that relates to women. When I wrote it, something had struck a nerve, and I was pretty pissed off. I don't want any of you girls here to think that I'm writing about you, because I really don't know any of you well enough to make a judgment call. Well, 99.9% of you anyway, so yeah, don't take it personally. See, you're gonna say all this shit and you can't even say it with your chest. Like, let me preface this by backpedaling immediately. It's just that every woman I've ever known has let me down. Anyway, I just wanted to see what you guys thought about what I had to say. Here goes. There are really, truly interesting and wonderful women. Question mark. Are you trying to say, like, are there? I guess he's quoting somebody else in an earlier part of the discussion. He says, shit, every woman I've known was either 1, extremely selfish and self-centered. God, that sounds like somebody we know, doesn't it? 2, too busy feeling sorry for herself to do anything else. Again, Philip. May I call you Philip? You're describing yourself in these 2 points. I think that's why it drives you crazy about the other person, is because they're showing a mirror of the ugliest parts of yourself, and you can't stay on the side of it. 3, too annoying and/or God damn it, and/or geeky to stand for more than 30 minutes. That is Phil to a T, dude. We did him on live stream a couple of weeks ago, and it was just the most old man yells at cloud type of energy that I think I've ever seen.
Who's laughing now? Shut up!
It's actually ludicrous. He's sitting there talking about, like, oh, this USB port and blah, blah, blah. It's like, please give me anything interesting, would you? I'd really appreciate that. Sit there and complain about your tech setup so you can ask for more money for your fucking tech setup. Extremely selfish and self-centered, bringing it back to point 1. But that's only into the 3rd point out of a list of 10 things. So fine, we'll carry on point number 4. Too stupid to listen to advice they ask for. Doing stupid things and then complaining to you because they totally went against what you told them. Like, this is the audience, their perspective. You asked for the advice and you got it, and do whatever, and then you're like, I don't know how it ended up like this. That's crazy, bro. Your entire life has been like belligerently, purposefully not listening to advice or what anybody else says. You got an ego the size of Houston. He wants to be the king, and he even calls himself that on his live streams. Well, he's begging for, like, okay, we need $300 today, every single day. It's like, dude, this is not good.
The bottom line is I need to eat tomorrow. All right, so there you go. That's why I'm bringing it up on my stream.
At a certain point, people are going to stop enabling this, which I guess we have seen the tides shifting. Or maybe the algorithm's just shoving a bunch of shit in my face because I watched DarkSydePhil one time to research for a live stream. Anyway, point 5. Yeah, she was a total slut. 4.6, a total tease, leading you on and then crushing you under their boot when you finally let on that you like her. Something tells me that Phil's met a few more teases than sluts in his day, you know?
It makes me feel good.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I don't think anybody really wants to be that near him. I mean, he's married and such, but do you think it's a happy and fulfilled marriage? I hate to drag all that into this, but it's indicative of an underlying issue that we need to talk about, Philip. May I call you Philip? I'm going to call you Philip. I tried it. He didn't say yes the first time, so I took it as that's fine. The 7th thing that every woman Phil has known is a total liar, which again, he does nothing but lie. Like, people come to him with receipts about his lies, and he just continues lying. Like,
why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
at a certain point, just put your fucking ego aside. Be real for like half a minute. You know, are you capable of that even? I don't think so. I think the real Phil faded away long ago. Now all we have is this, what's essentially just an AI-driven husk. You put money in, it goes buy some tech crap that it doesn't truly understand, does another fucking stream complaining about the thing, and asking for money to replace the thing that he just bought. That's the cyclical DarkSydePhil cycle. And some might argue that he's not AI, that he's flesh and bone, but I don't know, his brain operates on a single wavelength, I think. He's got one modus operandi. Turn your money into things that I don't need.
If you want to help out with the cost of those games, all you gotta do is email me the digital code so I can redeem it. I have the right to ask. I do.
Speaking of which, hey, drop a super chat on the video if you like some of this stuff. I truly never know how people feel about lolcow content. Like, we had a good time with Boogie, but I don't know if people enjoy Phil. I guess he's good with like a passing brush, you know? I don't want to have to sit there and watch him for 3 hours. Seriously, that live stream was hell. Anyway, join us for the Sunday Funday live streams. Thanks so much. Like noon on Sunday for the people stateside, Eastern time, I think. Anyway, number 8. She's so demanding that she expects you to read her mind like some kind of fucking psychic and never do anything unless it's with her. Don't be fooled. If she says you can go do something and she doesn't mind, she's lying, and you'll pay for it later. Do you think DarkSydePhil ever lets his wife out of the house? Do you think he's so insecure that it's like, well, I'm here streaming, making all the money that people handed me for doing nothing. She's out there, whatever, boning down, getting what she's not getting at home, essentially. That's really what it comes down to. I say you give that guy a pat on the back, Phil. He's the one holding your marriage together, honestly. You should put an extra $50 in the goal for like his daily salary. That would be really nice here. As far as being a fucking psychic, I sort of understand that one a little bit. There is some expectation that you'll be able to read the subtle cues that are put before you, but that's sort of all of life, isn't it? You need to move on this. If your excuse every time is you didn't say it out loud, that's terrible. How long have you been with your wife? Okay? Long enough to know what she needs before she says she needs it. But you make her say it every time, don't you? It's a terrible way to live. It's a terrible way to go through life. But like you said yourself, I'm sure you'll pay for it later. You might be paying for it right now. It's like a hell of your own making. Step 9, too full of herself. Yeah, the guy who calls himself the king on stream.
Have to clip this King's Tips total in order to clip this channel illegally.
She has the ego. The truth is, there's only room in this town for one ego this size, you know? You can't stand the thought of another person near you, even one that you purport to love, finding success or standing on their own 2 feet. It makes you insecure because then she might be able to walk away at some point. You're a pathetic little man. That's what I want you to know. 10! She's just plain fucking crazy. Yeah, they're all crazy. Just write it off. You have a mental ill. Oh, okay. Then I guess nothing I say matters anymore, does it? You don't have to listen to anything I say. I have a mental ill.
Oh no! And it's gone, just gone. My subs, my tips, my house, but at least I have this.
Pretty cool, huh?
That's a really easy way to get out of addressing some deeper underlying issues. You could open up and have an honest conversation and ask some really hard questions and tell some really hard truths, but instead it's just easier to be like, well, you're crazy. Probably the thing that he's calling crazy is she brought up one of his many lies, came with the receipts, and he's like, well, you're crazy. It's like the most blatant gaslight ever. And I don't know. I don't know how his wife is doing, but like I pray for that woman, I swear. That's got to be such an unfortunate situation to be in.
I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
And I'm sorry that you got to go through it, you know? Eventually maybe you'll be set free or something like, or the cage will light on fire. His lack of electrical knowledge, you see. Anyway, after that, his 10 things, he continues on and says, every single woman in my life fits one or more of the above, and every single one has let me down. Oh, isn't that so sad for you? Well, your first mistake was expecting anything from anybody, Phil. You gotta stand up on your own 2 feet and do for yourself. Instead, you're laying around, oh, somebody has to carry me. Carry me across the finish line. Pat me on the butt for making $300 from somebody else's wallet today. Oh, good for you, Phil. Oh, yay for you. It's pathetic. It truly is. You've got an ego this size and all this free time on your hand, and never once have you sat back and made time for self-reflection. Ask yourself, what the fuck am I doing with my life? How is this affecting other people, not just around me, but yeah, viewers and stuff like that? I think people just got it like that to give you $300 every day? That's $300 from your audience every day. That's crazy. Those expectations are massive.
The most amazing things that can happen to a human being will happen to you if you just lower your expectations.
I guess the truth of the matter is people pay him so he'll actually do something. They're like, please, Phil, play the video game. We'll give you $300 today. Just, I want to see you play Spyro or whatever the hell. And then he's terrible at it and complains about it the whole time. And I don't understand how this is a sustainable business model. I guess it's not. We're slowly but surely seeing that. Anyway, the post continues. You want to know why so many guys are so uninteresting, full of themselves, thinking they're the shit? Because women demand it. If a guy has no confidence, then that's no good. That's right, Sonic says. If somebody tries to touch you in a way or a place that makes you feel uncomfortable,
That's no good. So what do? First, you say no. Then, you get out of there.
To address the root of your shit, it is classic nice guy logic, okay? And I can see right through the inflated ego. Deep down, you're a sad little man. You couldn't sit and listen to this video without losing your shit, probably, because there's just no part of you that takes constructive criticism on board. You know what I mean? I like to weigh each piece and be like, okay, is this true? Is there something actionable in the hateful thing that was said? Like, he deletes comments that are nice. They're just telling him, like, hey, maybe try this next time. And he fucking deletes it.
What you're saying doesn't even make any logical sense. Are you telling other people to save money? Seriously. I don't understand what this means.
Is that because otherwise women won't want you? If they see that YouTube comment, they're not gonna want me. It'll make me look like I have less confidence. I better delete it so everybody thinks I'm full of confidence. Don't delete it. Leave it up, dude. Who gives a shit what anybody else says? Just for once, I'd like you to do something with your entire chest. Be like, yeah, I'm king shit, whatever. But it's not because of anything else. It's because I choose to do it. Because this is who I want to be and who I feel that I am. And I'd be like, hell yeah. Actually, probably not. I'd still say cringe, weird. But at least you're forging your own path. You know what I mean? He's like, I only act like this to get chicks. Yeah. The one woman you got to marry. That's good, you know? But I don't know if we should pluralize women. How many women do you think DarkSydePhil has been with in his life? Not that that makes the measure of a man, of course. But I'm just looking for a little bit of proof that your theorem is working out for you, you know? He continues, women always whine that they want a nice guy, and there are none of them left. Give me a freaking break. Women walk all over nice guys, use them, maltreat them, play with their hearts, but in the end, they'll always fuck them over. Cheat on them, break up with them, tell them let's just be friends, or you need Tim E apart, but then run off with some other guy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, cheating, I'm not gonna give a pass, but break up? Like, yeah, people break up in relationships, Phil. That's how a lot of relationships end. It either ends in a breakup or death, and one happens vastly more often than the other, okay? Let's just be friends. That's a fine thing to be told. It means I'm not romantically interested in you. And you can go your own way based on that information. You could be like, well, I never want to talk to her again then. And she'll probably be a little bit sad that she lost a friend, that she had to pay $300 every day to be their friend. But with time, it heals all wounds. Except for Phil, apparently. Yeah, he's just holding on to some dark parts of his past. She ran off with some other guy. Well, truly, do you blame her? Like, well, what the fuck do you do all day? People need more than just like $300 a day, okay? You have to spend time with them, build emotional bonds, discuss things. Like, are you making time for anybody else? Or it's just you sitting there putting on the Phil show all day, every day, having dinner for your poor, ignored, dumped upon wife? She's a human being too, Philip. She used to have her own hopes and dreams, Philip, before you crushed them under your fucking insecure little man boot heel. Fact of the matter is, the women of America have become so freaking selfish, dishonest, and full of themselves that they have no freaking idea what it is they really want from a man. To be nurtured and protected, I'm pretty sure. I really don't know. There's a reason that I left America. I don't completely disagree with the sentiment. Like, I've also had bad relationships, mostly with American chicks. But you're painting with far too broad a brush here. You know what I mean? Like, I like to judge people on an individual basis, and yeah, looking back, I'm like, well, I should have seen the red flags. I ignored the binge drinking thing because I was also doing it. It's just like a toxic thing that you had to experience, and instead of taking lessons away from it and being like, oh, I'm gonna improve on this for next time, you just you just keep doing the same shit forever and expecting it to turn out differently. The definition of insanity, Phil, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You have to try new things. You have to grow and experiment. Are you gonna sit there and play 20-year-old video games for another fucking 40 years? Like, it's not a great way to go, man. Lots of American women are scared to build things because American guys also have a sort of perception about them, don't they? And if you don't know what that perception is, maybe you should take a little trip outside of your bubble. But he never will. He's like, I gotta be here full time, $300 a day, or we're all dead.
A bunch of empty-headed idiots who paid me money to get absolutely nothing out of it. Thanks.
It's wild, dude. I don't know where all the money that you're getting is going, but maybe we need to cut back on a few things, you know?
It's gone. It's all gone.
What do you mean? I have $100.
Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
Like, $300 a day is fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous! But I don't know, he won't ever show us the receipts. He didn't have to show the IRS receipts. He got sued by the IRS and he beat the allegations, which is just wild. Anyway, I'm totally off in the weeds now, but whatever. So is he. This hardly has a point, does it? Women bad, they all bad thing and I not. Okay, yeah, I get it. He says, this is why we have so many guys that have become that same overconfident asshole, because if we're nice guys, we get walked all over and thrown away. Because we're too boring or whatever other stupid fucking reason you give. At least if we act like total dicks, we could still get laid once in a while.
None of it's true. It's BS. They made it up. They lie.
Oh yeah, Phil does think that that's the measure of a man. And I ask you again, friendo, how often has it actually worked for you? Put a number on it, just so we can quantify some of these statements that are being made, okay? I don't think people do like overconfidence, okay? They want you to be sure of yourself. You need to know who you are and have that aura, but like there's a big difference between that and overcompensating, which is clearly what Phil does all the time, forever, always. You haven't worked on yourself enough or suffered enough to become the person that you wish that you were. You know what I mean? You're too scared to get outside of your comfort zone and actually work on shit. Oh, but if I dedicate time to doing this other thing that actually improves me, then I'll have to step away from my virtual subsistence. It's a really bad way to go. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, a couple more paragraphs of this schlock to go. Damn superficial bitches! If you could make up your friggin' minds what you wanted out of men, maybe more guys would try to be like that. But instead, you're never satisfied. And you go on forums complaining that our guys are the same overconfident a-holes. Well, maybe if you weren't sleeping with or dating that type of guy and or cheating on / turning down that nice guy for that a-hole stereotype that you loudly proclaim to be bad, so many guys wouldn't be trying to be like that in the first place. Dumbass. Oh man, he really does feel like he has a point. You want to know who chicks want to sleep with? A guy with an air of quiet confidence, okay? I know who I am, and whether we do a thing or not tonight, it's fine. I'm secure with it myself. But old Philip gets all in his own head. He's like, I gotta get laid, it's make or break, bro. We gotta hit the goal.
Let's have
it's a really weird way to go through life, especially when you are consistently not hitting goals. Like maybe the boisterous guys got some chicks in high school, stuff like that, but that's because they were the ones that were confident enough to ask. You know what I mean? You say, hey, you want to go over to my house? And one thing leads to another, right?
Why are you taking your pants off? What are you doing?
But most guys don't even get that far. I saw a statistic that was like 80% of people have never asked somebody out in person. It's like, what? What? That's insane. You're relying on Tinder to do this shit for you? Come on. Come on. Like, talking to people can be scary the first time, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So go out there and just say hello. Say hello to somebody. How are you? Practice your conversation. And then you'll be ready when that 10 out of 10 hot blonde that'll totally date you walks over. Absolutely no spaghetti is going to fall out of your pockets. You're definitely not going to vomit on yourself. I think most of this really is just DSP's way of telling us about the mysterious boyfriend. He's paying $50 a day to take care of his wife, you know?
You want to do my wife? Be my guest. I don't have a problem with it.
He's like, yeah, I'm the nice guy, and I get turned down for that overconfident a-hole. He's such an a-hole. I think the last paragraph truly is just the cherry on the top of the sundae, you know? He says, so yeah, poon's good and video games are good, but women are a waste of time and the number one cause of BS and drama that men don't need. Yeah, how's that going for you? It's a scary thing to develop a kinship with another person, to share everything and for them to become like another half of you. If you really nurture them and treat them right, then like that's a magical thing, but it's also scary, dude, because another half of you could get ripped away at any moment, you know? Life is fleeting, but I think the purpose really is to love with your entire heart. Not everybody, of course, but the people that you hold closest. And for you, that should be your wife. You're married, you know? No kids, but you are married, so why aren't you dumping more of that passion into her? Instead, you're dumping it into video games, which, while it's fun, I enjoy a good video game now and then. Once it becomes an obsession, it becomes a problem, truly. And Phil is so scared to even step away from the video games for a moment. And the tragic thing is that he's really not even that good at them. Quite terrible, if one would ask me. How do you spend so much time doing this thing and still end up fucking terrible at it?
Hold up, release. Oh, is that it? Is that all I had to do? So
you know how much video games I play every week? Maybe 20 hours. Probably closer to 15. But I truly enjoy it. It allows some time just for me, but also gives me plenty of time to dote on my wife and children. Video games are good, asterisk, in moderation. Poon, I guess, yeah, that's a thing you could enjoy. Apparently Phil's world really does revolve around that, but I don't know. Sort of the era that he grew up in, I guess. You gotta go out there and get laid, dude. And now I think we're sort of at a point where shame is coming back in a big way, and people are like, actually, you don't have to stick your dick in anything that moves. You truly don't.
Just don't put your dick in crazy.
However, I would advocate working on your conversational skills and keeping that open as an option if you guys did want to do that at some point. That nice girl that you were eyeballing down at the laundromat, just say hi to her. Just see how she's doing. A little vibe check, you know? Don't make it weird, ask about a boyfriend, all this shit. Just, you know, give her the time of day. She'll find you intriguing because you didn't try to fuck her immediately. That's a strategy that's worked for me in the past. I'm not going to put a number on it. But I guarantee it's higher than whatever the hell Phil is going to say. Oh, but of course, before we go, were you listening, Gubbins? Did you tune out for all that? How'd that make you feel, my dude?
Bro sound like you need juice box and long nap, a dirt nap. Not even hot glow can cleanse the earth of this parasite. Gubbins.
Yeah, a dirt nap sounds great right about now, honestly. I don't think anything will cleanse the earth of DarkSydePhil. He's literally just an internet cockroach. He'll be around forever. Doing the same thing, yelling at clouds, saying things but not fully with his chest, backpedaling before he even starts, lying to everybody's face. Oh my god, he's reprehensible. I can't visit him all the time, but that's fine. I guess that's it for this episode. I mean, it's a relatively short post. I added a lot of commentary. If you do enjoy this type of stuff, let me know, especially by supporting on Patreon or YouTube memberships. That makes me most motivated to make more content like that. We've also got a fourth wall if you'd like some merch. I do appreciate you guys watching the video. Share it around if you'd like. Not sure why it popped up on my feed, but I knew I had to share it with you. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it. And I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.